Now I have to get into probably to me the most eyebrow raising part of this whole presentation. And I have saved this one for last.
We're monitoring. We're going through the test cycles. We're monitoring the closed alpha cycle that the team has just gone through. We're taking all the lessons learned. We're using the capabilities that we've built in analytics and user testing to understand how audiences are engaging with the title. And some of that feedback, frankly, has been varied, but it's super useful. That's why you do these testing. And the constant testing and the constant revalidation of assumptions that we just talked about, to me, is just so valuable to iterate and to constantly improve the title. So when launch comes, we're going to give the title the optimal chance of success. And this cycle of test, of iterate, test again, that is such a key component of the live service success, both leading up to launch, but also throughout the life of the game. And we're committed to continuing to leverage our learnings to maximize engagement and player satisfaction throughout the life cycle of the title.
Okay, so a lot to say there. Saying that marathons, the discussion around marathon has been varied. This is where I would progress from calling it disingenuous into either straight up delusion or what I think is more accurate, deception. And this is something that Luke Stevens said, where this kind of talk, telling your investors, and again, I don't give a fuck about these investors, but if I was an investor and I even knew an inkling of what was going on with Marathon and with the Bungie, I would be pissed. Because I would feel like the wool is being pulled over my eyes with this whole thing. Because I feel like it is straight up deceptive labeling to say that the discussions around Marathon have been varied. That is maybe the most PR nonsense way to describe what is going on with Marathon. And the fact that, again, that they're not being honest with people. Again, this is where this inauthenticity comes in that I've talked about multiple times. And it's the most PR friendly spin on this whole Marathon situation. And the fact that, again, they do not mention once that Marathon is coming out this September or this year. They're talking about in fiscal year. They're talking about we will give it the optimal chance of success when it comes out. Buddy, I hate to tell you this, Mr. Hulst, there really is no optimal chance of success with Marathon. Even if you do delay it into next year, if you delay it into March, by that point, Arc Raiders will be been out for a few months. It will probably have gotten some updates by then, and if it's a success, you have a major 90-degree hill to climb, my guy. That's going to be a massive undertaking to get the turn the public sentiment tied in your favor when it comes to Marathon. Yeah, it's varied between it's okay, this is dead in a few months, to plagiarism to make me go. Yeah, exactly. It's varied. It's like, I guess legally it is true that the response around Marathon has been, the conversation around Marathon is varied. But again, it's deception. It's very deceptive to say something like this. And again, PlayStation, I think they have given too much leeway to PlayStation to have these failures. If I was a shareholder, I'd be demanding more accountability from PlayStation. I'd be demanding a lot of fucking I'd probably be demanding for Hermen Hulst's job by this point, with all the fuck ups that they've had these past few years, with the literal billions of dollars they've thrown down the toilet, pursuing Bungie, the lemon that is Bungie, pursuing Fair Games, pursuing Concord, canceling all these live services, just a complete misallocation of their in-house talent to some of these live services. So again, it's just, and I wonder too if Hermen Hulst is delusional, because I think it's just I think the if I'm going to use Occam's razor, the simplest explanation is probably the most accurate one. I would say he's being deceptive, but I do wonder if there is this little bubble of delusion that Hermen Hulst is living in, because this corpo world is like, it might as well be a completely different place. You know how I've talked about how I think places like LA and San Francisco might as well be their own little planets, their own little bubbles. I think this way with the corpo world, where I take a peek inside the very carefully curated presentation of this corpo speak that Hermen Hulst and Nishino and whoever the hell this is are cultivating for investors. And I'm like, is the truth even reaching you guys? Like, are you guys even aware of the negativity that's around Marathon? Or like, I'm 95% sure that they are. And again, they're being deceptive, but there's that 5% of me that really genuinely thinks that Hermen Hulst is delusional, because I don't know how you look at something like Concord and go, that's our Star Wars. How does that happen? Any monkey with a brain could look at Concord and go, no. They would pull some poo right out from their booty hole and just throw it right at Concord if a monkey stared at it. I don't know how you this is like if I wrote a crappy, like if I took one of my like crappy, because I used to write like kind of crappy like science fiction stories back when I was in middle school. It's like if I took one of those stories and said, this is the next Star Trek. It's like if I did that, like that kind of delusion. But I was like 12 when I did that. This is a fucking 50-year-old man running around saying that Concord is the future of PlayStation and a Star Wars like IP. I have to there is just that 5% of me that thinks that there's some serious delusion, like whatever hopium Hermen Hulst is snorting. Like, I want some of that. That is a potent dose of hopium that Hermen Hulst is snorting there.